Started. Glad you're here. Oh, quick question. Are you struggling with stress? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thank you for joining us today. We have a wonderful guest here with us. Before I get to her, let me talk about you. You are also a member of this show today. You're a co host on the couch. We encourage you to chime in with your comments, with your questions, with anything that you feel led to share. I am joined today. I'm Yo, by the way. I'm your host for today, known as the Joy Igniter. And I am joined in the studio with the beautiful Dr. Hannah Cook, which is the cutest name. She just gave me a history of what it means. It actually means cook, like chef. Maybe it'll come out if how she got the name in the first place. Dr. Hannah, thank you for being here today, known as the Happy Ever After Coach. We're just going to have a wonderful conversation on how we deal with stress.
Yeah, I'm excited to be here, and yeah, I'm looking forward to the time that we're having together. So yeah, let's get the ball rolling.
Yeah, let's go. Let's get started. Oh, again, I'm just gonna tell you again. You're the co-host on the couch as well as Dr. Hannah. So we're gonna start with Dr. Hannah. Dr. Hannah, why are you passionate about helping people with their lifestyle using your zone of genius?
You know what? It is just so important for me. Well, for me, to start with, is that if I'm not passionate about something, I cannot motivate myself about it. And so for me, I wish for everybody that they can find something they to do that really excites them, so they don't feel like they have to work and slog every day. Because my experience is when I found something that I really love, I'm motivated from within. And that makes life so much easier and so much fun. Well, it's not always fun, but most of the time it is fun.
Yeah, I love that you said that. It's if you're passionate about it, and that's what drives you. Because if it doesn't drive you, how in the world is it going to drive somebody else? It's that starting with us. For me, same. If it's not fun, I do not want to do it. And it took me a while to realize that I'm in charge of the fun part. I don't have to wait for it to be fun externally. I can bring the fun from within. So I totally resonate with you. Let's keep this going. Starting like, how do we get motivated? Here's our
How
next
we get
it's
how
a question. It's a question, Dr. Coke. That's me. I jumped ahead with the
you
question for the actual.
doctor just say
Here's the actual question. The actual
oh,
question. Why is stress management important for professionals to thrive in your life and business?
why is stress management important? Well, the fact that we're stressed shows that we're somehow missing a point. We are trying to push ourselves. We are trying to um, make things happen instead of flowing more with with the opportunities that come our way. You know, a good example is if you want to be make something happen, instead of, oh, you think, oh, who can I phone, and now you're trying to phone everybody and you pushing and pulling, and it's exhausting and you feel stressed. If on the other hand you know very much what you want, and then you think, what do I feel like doing right now, and you sort of follow, as Abraham Hicks always says, follow the bliss, follow what feels right, and then you meet the right people, you having, relaxing time on the way, and it just flows much better. It's quicker to get there. And why it's also important that we do things when we're motivated from within is when we're not stressed, our health is better. And my health is very important. If my health is not good, I can do nothing. Then my only goal is about being healthy. So that's why it's important for me to focus on being relaxed and having fun.
It's like you have a choice between two F's. You can force it or you can flow with it. And I have more experience in force than I had in flow. And stress is a choice. I think a lot of people, I had to realize that stress is a choice. I don't have to be stressed. I don't have to force things to happen. Flow could just be that flow if I allow it. And so I can understand what you're saying too. Like it's in order for me to be relaxed, sometimes I just gotta let things go. You just gotta let the shit go. So
So, just to add a little bit to that, is a lot of stress comes from how we interpret the situation. So, because it's not about the events, it's about how we look at it. And we've been trained to believe there's a lot of lack. So, there's not enough money, there's not enough this. And so, when we look at a situation with the eyes of lack, I'm not good enough, then we are going to be stressed because now you have to work really hard to make sure that you have enough. But when you come to a point that you realize, you know what, I am enough, it's actually not just a realization, it's a choice to say, you know what, this is all I have. Let me run with what I have. Let me just work on being enough and feeling enough. And then a lot of stress falls away because you don't have to prove yourself to yourself and everybody else.
it's funny because with the management part is what's sticking out to me. You have to know it's going to happen eventually. It's going to come, even though it's a choice whether we choose to accept it or not. I feel like Mission Impossible. Whether the choice choose to accept it or not, stress is going to be a part of our life as entrepreneurs and as business owners. So how are you going to manage that? And what you're saying is internalize it first, and don't internalize first, start from within to affect the outside. It's kind of like decluttering my space around me. When I feel my brain getting all head spacey, if I clean the area around me, it helps me declutter inside of me too. So
Yeah, and listen to what you're saying to yourself and about your situation. To give you, I must share a fun story with you. So this was just the other day. I was doing a work on the computer.
mhm.
And I used to say, oh, this is so tedious. I'm dreading it. It's horrible. And what would happen? I actually would fall asleep behind my computer. Thank goodness there was nobody watching me. But I would fall. So this was, doing my private work. I'm not in a call or something. So I'm doing this work, and my eyes are heavy, and my bed is calling me, and I'm thinking of all the other things that could be doing. And then I realized, okay, but I'm doing this for me. I'm doing this because this is important to me. So now I'm sitting behind the computer and saying, okay, this is important. I want to do this. So I'm talking myself into enjoying it. In the beginning, it's like weird, but then
Mhm.
I'm like, I'm enjoying this. And let me stay focused. Let me do this, and then I do that, and I'm wide awake. I mean, even if I'm working late, I'm still awake, and I'm celebrating like, yes, I did that without making mistakes. And if I make a mistake, like, oops, I did it again. And I had so much more energy doing what I'm doing. So I'm really watching not to go back and say, oh, I'm dreading this. I'm saying, no, I want the results. And this is a great practice to focus. And I'm having fun doing a boring thing, a repetitive job. Let's
Yeah.
rephrase it. Yeah.
You had a conversation with yourself, and
Yes.
that is important because you instead of you had it, we have conversations with ourselves regardless, but you chose to have a positive one because you could have stayed in that same space that, oh, I'm dreading this, I don't want to do this, I want to go to bed, but you just flipped that script. I really want this. You reversed your energy, and then you got to push yourself through it. You managed your stress,
It wasn't even pushing myself through it. It was like, I'm enjoying
encouraging
it.
yourself through it.
Exactly. Because if you find you're drowsy and distracted and you get a headache, or you can't even, my eyes, I couldn't even see clearly. And, I'm of an age that most people have glasses. And I
Mhm.
have this thing that I'm really, well, I must tell you this. So when I made a vow to myself not to have glasses my whole life. And sometimes it's like, oh no, I don't know how I'm going to make that vow come true. But when I was saying, I'm doing this, I'm doing this for me, I want to see what's going on, my eyesight actually became crystal clear.
Mm.
I could see these little, because I first had enlarged my screen and I've made it smaller again. And I can see this small print because I want to see it.
Mm. You
Doesn't
change
sound
your
like doing
perception
that.
because you change your attitude.
Yeah,
And you change your physical perception when you change your attitude.
yeah,
I believe it.
because
I believe that.
our eyes go blurry if you don't want to see something.
Yeah.
Our
Well,
our body,
our body talks to us if we don't want to. So your body was telling you at first, I don't want to do all this, I don't want to do all that. But then when you changed the mindset, you changed your body and you were able to see clearer. I believe that. I believe that. I really do. We have a coach on the couch that also said that sometimes what we stress about is none of our business. We bring
absolutely.
on again, stress is a choice, and we allow other things to try to control us that we ain't got no right, no business trying to control it. So keep co-hosting on the couch, co-host on the couch. That's a mouthful. Moving on, staying inspired. How has work-life harmony been a problem for you in the past, and how did you overcome it? So work and life, the harmony. I love the word harmony, not balance. Balance almost ahead of you. Balance is like it comes into this perfected mindset. Oh, I got to balance my life. I got to balance things out. It's really unrealistic to balance rhythm.
Yeah,
Like an orchestra. How can you flow like a symphony? So how does work life rhythm?
works for me. Well, this has always been a very important subject for me because I was actually became a single parent. I was widowed on a young when I had a young child, and I decided it's important for me to be there for my child, and so I made sure that I was earning enough, but I wasn't throwing myself into the work fully. For me, it was more important to spend time with my child. And then later I remarried and inherited some extra children. So I actually sometimes had to be careful not to spend too much time at home and not enough in my business. But now that the kids are grown up and my husband is also not working so much anymore, now I can focus on what I want to do. And that harmony, yes, that is a great word, is really important for me. I once had a thought. I went to in Israel. I was in the upper room. Now the upper room was the place where the disciples were sitting and they were waiting for this fantastic thing to happen. And
Mhm.
I was sitting there shortly after I was there on my own with my son. And this thought hit me. He says, no success is counts as success if you cannot take your family with you. Because too often we see people get very successful, a very successful business, and then they lose their family in the process. And I didn't want that. So sometimes I choose family over work. But now that I've got something that I'm so excited about and the children are all grown up, I can now spend more time on what I'm doing now.
I'm with you on that. Waiting till this level of life to get to being able to enjoy my kind of stuff. Me, I did the same thing. Like I was saying with the real balance versus harmony. I was trying to balance the wife, the mom, the career woman, the everything, all of that, and it caused a lot of stress, and it made life not as easy or fun. And so now, yeah, I kind of would like to take people with me, but at the same time, if they don't want to go, I'm not gonna make them. Back in the day, I used to try to force things. Now I don't. So I relate to your saying understanding of the kind of pain we put on ourselves, putting other people ahead of us. And now it's our time and our season, and we can do what we want to do. And it
That
feels good. It feels good.
and also I do want to say it's not like we have to choose between family or success.
Mm-mm.
That is now maybe a message that sounds like I'm putting out there. If we go with the flow, we can have both. Because then when we are motivated to work, we have the energy to do the work. Then if we stuck, now instead of pushing and forcing the work, then we're going to have fun with our kids.
Yeah.
And then we let things ripen in the background and then we go back to the business. And so we're flowing from one to the next and things can flow really nicely like that.
Yeah. That's the flow and the rhythm. That's exactly what that is. Being able to have both and.
And
It
both,
doesn't have to be either or. Literally
yeah.
both and. I want to have both the wonderful pushing career woman life, and I also want to be able to enjoy my kids and the significant people in my life. So it's the rhythmic flow. Love that you recognize that forcing is causing stress. Yes, yes, forcing causes stress. Yeah, try that. Say remember, force or flow. We got the two F's. Force or flow. One of them I'm gonna say F you too, and that's the forceful. I like when I play
Yeah,
with letters and words. It's the F word now. Force, flow, and
another one. Yeah.
the other one. Who should you ask for help when you are trying to improve your stress management?
You know what I always say to my clients, and this is what I do first and foremost, is I go this way or inside, up, whatever the inner guidance is very important. And then I also believe that it is good to have some sort of coach, somebody that you can bounce ideas off. It's important that you choose somebody that has a similar view. So, like, if I want to have a business in line with who I am and my inner being, then it's important that I have a coach that understands it, and not a business coach says, and now you have to do this and you have to post so many times on social media and you have to do that. It's like, no, that's not going to work for me. So, a combination, have somebody inside, have yourself inside, listen to the inner voice, have that quiet time. Listen to that's what I do. Listen to what my heart says. And then I also have an external person that is helping me. And then I do read books, or no, not so much reading, but I do listen to a lot of motivational stuff on YouTube, and I do some online courses as well.
I like that you started out with the line up, because we sometimes I know for me, I used to try to ask me like, and I was also asking outward. I was asking for outward help. I struggled with asking for inward help because my line wasn't as straight as it used to be. It was a little crooked. I wasn't sure which direction it was going to. And when you mentioned the upper room a while ago, I relate to that too because of an old devotional book I used to read. But some sort of a guidance system, some sort of a look up to ask and then in to ask, and then that line will help me look outward. And for me, it would be the tribe, the people I'm surrounded by, the people who know me and allow me to be me. Those are the who's I would ask after, which is what I'm working on now, after asking my internal, my lineup, my universe, my source. I'm gonna ask you first, then let that resonate here. Who do I need to ask? So
Absolutely.
we on the
Absolutely.
same page with that one. Your calendar. What we focus on expands. If you have to force it to work it, you probably won't. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, you have to
It's
look.
unsustainable.
It
It
is.
costs too much.
How
Yeah.
many times have we done that though? I mean, like I'm thinking about all these younger people who might be watching this eventually, and they don't have to wait until I don't know how old you are. I'm about to be 51, and I think about where I
Beyond
am
that.
in life. Would you say, Dr. Coach?
I said I'm way beyond the 51.
Ah,
So
okay. You don't look it, sis. You don't look it. So I'm about to be 51. And I know the stuff I know now. And I'm grateful that I know it now. And I'm accepting the flow of it now. But just imagine in my 30s or maybe those early 40s to know, our generation ahead of us. I always said if I knew then what I know now. So you don't have to wait till a then to say that. You can know it now. You can know it now. So that's my
absolutely.
encouragement to you young people. You can know it now. You got to wait till you get in our 50s plus to figure that out. How can we gain knowledge? So we're going to wrap this up really quickly. What is one tip for calibrating your life by focusing on your lifestyle?
One trip
One
for
tip,
calibrating,
calibrating your life. Yeah.
calibrating my life, for focusing on my lifestyle. Yo, now you stunned me with that question.
Good.
Um, well, the one tip that I have is make sure that you can spend time in nature, that you have time for yourself. Preferably you can do it in nature, or if you don't have nature around you, then have a pleasant place in your house where you can have time for you. That for me is so important. If I don't make time for me, and sometimes some days it's maybe 20 minutes, and I try to do the meditation first thing in the morning, I give my time to me first thing in the morning, and then I can go out in my day. That's for me the most important thing. To
And
have
that's a great tip. I encourage that tip because I do that myself too. First thing, give yourself some space in the morning. My tip would be know what your lifestyle, know what you want your lifestyle to look like. I think if you, it's one way to focus on a lifestyle if we don't know what that is. Because a lot of times I've gotten to the mundane task of doing things thinking that's my lifestyle, but that wasn't. That was just things I was doing. So once you know what lifestyle you want to live and you're creating that, the tip would be the tip after you know that would be to focus on it, take steps towards making sure you're living the life that you created for yourself. But yeah, tip would be to know your lifestyle.
And then one thing that I want to add to that is that, there are certain things that are really important for me, for my business. And if I can do that also, first thing, first quiet time, then if I can do that, and then it's out of the way, then it's much easier to be available for other people and help them with their things. But if I have this nagging thing in the background, like, oh, I really want to do this, I want to write this article, or I want to create this, and then it's like this sitting on a thorn or something because I'm irritated because that's what I really want to do, and I'll do that. Doesn't have to take long, maybe an hour, and then the rest of the day I can be available for everybody else if that need to be like that.
You just gave another example of force versus flow. When it was nagging at you, it was telling you to flow with me, but you were trying to force the other things. But then once you gave into the flow, there's no more forcing.
Exactly.
See, so that's our combined tip is go with the flow. That's our combined tip. Go with the flow.
Yes,
Oh,
absolutely.
it's time for announcements. Dr. K, Dr. Cole, I'm sorry, I gave you a nickname, Dr. K, Dr. Hannah. What's going on in your world? What would you like to announce to the audience from the Happy Ever After Coach?
Well, you know what? We already said earlier, it all starts inside of us, and it starts with how we think about ourselves and our life. And I have an amazing free gift for the people that they can go to this website, affirmations.co, and you'll see a big button. You can read a bit what it is all about, and then you can sign up for free affirmations. And what it does is you listen to these affirmations super softly, preferably while you sleep. I've got some for building confidence. I've got a wonderful one that for your self-esteem. So as soon as you, not self-esteem, for your immune system. And then if you start feeling, ill, you have maybe a tickle in your throat or your nose starts running or a headache, you put these on super softly and they can prevent you from getting sick. That's what I've seen for many people. And yeah, go and check it out, sign up. And then as you sign up, you can also read a bit more about the paid version, where I have a 50% off special running. For $10 a month, you can invest in changing your mindset while you're sleeping. I mean, it is something so powerful. It's helped people to get rid of period pains, you name it, get rid of allergies. It's really powerful stuff. But the free section is also very powerful. So go at least sign up for the free section.
Oh, I definitely am. I think I have it. I want to say I actually have it. I just haven't tapped into the using it yet. And if you period pains, if that includes hot flashes, I'm in. I'm done. I'm down. I'm gonna put it on
Yeah,
tonight.
yeah, yeah. I'm working on that one. I've got the one for carefree periods and menopause, and I'm working on adding some stuff for the hot flashes. So before the end of next week, it will be up and running. You can already sign. Yeah.
Look at that. Just flowing with the flow. Flowing with the flow. I'm looking forward to listening to those, especially if your accent is leading it, because I love
Yeah,
accents.
yes. My voice you'll have whispering in your ear.
Yay! And for me, I dare you to choose you. I will be launching the 37 Ways to Say Yes to You challenge, and I dare you to put you first. It's going to be fun, of course, and it's going to be enlightening as well. So just go ahead and hit my website, www.beyourselfeveryday.com, to find out more about the upcoming challenge.
And
Okay.
now we have our community announcements. Announcements, announcements, announcements. I love that she does that. That is a throwback to all you who have been watching the show for many, many years. So, if you have enjoyed the show today, well, guess what? You can continue to enjoy the show as we are here every Wednesday and Thursday. That's Wednesday at 9 a.m. Pacific time and Thursday at 2 p.m. Pacific time. You can enjoy the conversation by being a co-host on the couch and know that you can actually be a part of the couch. But if you want to be on the screen like Dr. Hannah here, and you want to join us in the studio, our virtual studio, you can do that by going to www.minklifemotivation.com/live and apply to be on the show. Or you can follow us by joining us on all of the places that podcasts are streamed. You can go to Spotify and type in Mink Life Motivation Live and listen to us on the go. That's it for my announcements. Back to you, Yo.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. We're going to wrap it up. I want to thank you, Dr. Hannah, for being here and for sharing space with us. Thank you to your co-hosts on the couch. Don't let this be the last time you pop in. We do this twice a week, as she said. We'll see you again later. In the meantime, remember, it's not bye, it's be yourself every day. Ciao.
Thank you.